besides the Super Bowl, as everybody's going to get together next week and watch the game. But what everybody's worried about is the collective bargaining agreement. And but hey, Carl, thanks for joining us again. It's a pleasure to have you back. Carl, you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like I was saying, pleasure to have you back on the show. We sure appreciate you coming on, taking some questions for us.
Hey, Carl.
Thank you. No problem. How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic, Carl. This is John Cunningham. Hey, great to have you back on the show. And definitely this is some interesting times for the NFL. And looking forward to your thoughts on the collective bargaining agreement and maybe just starting with this. From your perspective, I mean, we see the daily twists and turns in the media. Where do you see this thing heading? Do you think an agreement can be reached in the next several weeks, or is this thing going down to the wire, if not beyond that?
It's so hard to tell in these type of scenarios because so many sides have to come together. I know we've been willing to talk. We've sent notices to meet. And so, guys, to be quite honest with you, it can happen any day now or it can happen 2 or 3 months from now. But most importantly is, getting together to talk. Now, the great news today was that DeMaurice and Roger have agreed to sit down and have a formal discussion this weekend, Saturday. So we sent out a joint statement with NFL today announcing that Mr. Smith and the commissioner is looking forward to meeting on Saturday. So that's a good thing. Anytime there's an opportunity to hold formal discussions, that's a positive movement. When you don't hear about us sitting down, discussing, sharing ideas, that's when you get a little nervous. But the news that came out of New York today from these discussions with Roger is they're planning to hold formal meetings this Saturday. So that's a positive for the whole industry of football.
Absolutely. It's kind of one of those old adages, no news is not necessarily good news.
Absolutely.
What do you take of, looking back at Cromartie's comments last week and maybe even just taking a bigger issue, just the NFL and the NFLPA with the whole use of Twitter and, you got Cromartie and Hasselbeck, you got Jones-Drew and the Cutler issue. What's your take on that, and do you think you're going to see some changes in terms of either stricter guidelines, or is that just common sense?
Well, I think a little bit of both. I think players are starting to really see the value of Twitter, Facebook, and other social media outlets. I mean, it could be used as a positive. A number of players are using it in a positive way. They're promoting their foundation. They can promoting their positive work that they've done. Even one of our locals used it to launch a lot of the things that he's doing, interact with fans, and it's Michael Vick, and he's using it very responsibly. But I think players are starting to learn from others because they've seen a number of players use it somewhat inappropriately and then just come back to hurt them, and they've had to do some damage control. So I think for the most part, when it comes to Cromartie and all those guys, I think everybody is still learning how powerful the written word is and how viral a lot of these messages are. So I think as we continue to use them, some of the guidelines will become more stricter, but also I think players will start to become more careful.
Well, and I think we agree with you. And, you look at the Jones-Drew issue, and he said he was kidding, and, that was all in fun in terms of what he said about Cutler. But I think in many ways, on the flip side, it probably is good for the game because it adds to the entertainment and it also gives fans better access to the players.
No question about it. I mean, there's always an interest in what a player is thinking before the game, what a player is feeling after the game, and a player wants to be in control of those feelings. A player wants to be in control of his thoughts and his written word versus maybe speaking directly to a news reporter, a newspaper reporter, or even on television for that much. But I mean, when you look at a guy like Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, I mean, there are a number of players who have used it responsibly and use it to, as I mentioned earlier, promote some of the positive things that they're doing in the community. So I think it could be a plus in a lot more ways than negatives.
When do we get to look forward to Carl Francis tweeting?
Actually, I am on Twitter. See Fran39. I tweeted some things out today, trying to keep our fans and people just up to date on things that we're doing with NFLPA and players, some of the positive things that we're doing in our community. And every so often I promote some of the things we're doing in the Hampton Roads area too, John. So I got to keep that going.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about your. Speaking of something that I think you do, you and Vernon Lee and the whole Hampton Roads Youth Foundation put together a great event. I mean, I truly mean a great event. Every July for the both the youth and the high school football athletes. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the Peninsula All-Star Football Camp?
Well, the Peninsula All-Star Football Camp is the brainchild of myself and Vernon Lee, Hampton Roads natives, where we wanted to give something back to the community and have it free of charge for the youth in the Hampton Roads area, and so particularly the 7 cities. And it's been going on for 15 years now, and we've never charged one kid to participate. We've never charged the parents, the kids, to come out and enjoy a great 2 days of activities, fun, free food, free giveaways, and most importantly, great information and life lessons from some of our former players and current NFL players and NFL personnel. And one of the people who have really, really brought into it and really has adopted it on a national level is a person that some people may not be familiar with, may not have heard of his name, just a little guy from Newport News, Virginia, named Mike Tomlin. So,
wait, who's that, Carl?
So what now?
I was kidding. I said, who's that?
We're kidding. We're kidding.
Who's that guy again? What's that guy's name again? Mike Tomlin.
Didn't he play baseball?
No, but Coach Tomlin has really adopted this camp and this weekend as his own. He calls, almost once a month, just checking in, seeing how kids are doing from the camp, how they're progressing through high school kids that he may have met. And it's so funny, as we moving forward, just planning purposes, he said right before he left for training camp, well, I went to training camp to see him. He said, look, make sure that you keep me posted on the planning. He said, I want to get involved with the planning, the layout, the itinerary. I want to get more engaged with it. He said, listen, just after the draft, please call me. I want to be part of these monthly conference calls you guys have because I want to see more things done to help the young people in our area because I want to touch them. I want to be a part of their lives, and it's all of our responsibilities. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change one life at a time. We love our area, and we just want to give back.
Well, I think we know who your Super Bowl prediction is going to be, but we'll get to that in a second. But I just wanted to say one quick thing. Having seen your camp in person and just being totally blown away with everything that you talked about. You give the kids real life, but the thought that the point that I really was excited to see was, you take Coach Tomlin. He's not only out there, he's not out there signing autographs. He's out there coaching, and he's coaching it up. He's getting in kids' face. He's showing intensity. I mean, he's having a ball out there, and I can't imagine the experience for the kids going through that with Coach Tomlin. Here's a Super Bowl champion coach giving me instruction, and it's incredible.
Right. One of the things that was funny after he won his first Super Bowl, he came to the kids and he was talking about dedicating yourself to your family, to your life, and to the game of football if you love it. And then he said, well, let me show you what dedicating yourself to something will give you. And he started passing around his Super Bowl ring. And I thought that was the craziest thing because I'm saying to myself, look, not that anyone will take it, but just that someone may drop it. And he was with the little kids. But he was very confident and wanted kids to feel success, wanted them to touch opportunity, and wanted them to really get a glimpse of what can happen if you get your grades, if you do well in school, listen to your parents, and work very, very hard at whatever you do. And he was just giving them a glimpse of what could be if they just applied those general principles to their lives. And the kids were just overexcited. And I thought it was a great moment in the camp.
Absolutely. Well, that's great stuff. Quick, before we get your Super Bowl prediction, is there anything that how can athletes, coaches, and maybe even potential sponsors to help support the camp, how can they get involved?
You know what? Please go to www.hryf.org. And please look on and just review and take a look at the website. Look at some of the things that we're doing. And you can also look at videotapes of past camps, some of the speaking sessions, by going to youtube.com/John www.HRYF, and that will give you just a glimpse of all the things we've done in the past. You could take a look at the speaking sessions about the players. One real major speaking lecture was on drugs and gang violence amongst athletes, and that was on our YouTube channel. So you can go to our website, www.hryf.org, or go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HRYF, and take a look and give us a call. Our contact information is on there. Give us a call, and please get involved. Please, in any way, we really appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. It's a great community event, and we'll definitely make sure that we let our listeners know, again, that website. One last question. Can't let you off the hook without giving us your Super Bowl prediction, and I think we know which direction you're going to go, but I'll let you do your thing.
Well, I tell you what, look, outside of me just being just outright biased towards Newport News product, Mike Tomlin, I do believe that they're going to win just based on Pittsburgh's experience in being there before. I think experience does play a part in this. I think Pittsburgh's defense is really on a roll. Petrell Polamalu is back in the lineup. I don't think he was playing the last time he played the Green Bay Packers. And with him being in the secondary, and I mean, who can question Big Ben? I mean, every time someone counts Big Ben out, he always finds a way to come through. And also, you can't leave out Coach Tomlin's resolve for leading a group of men. And so those are the reasons I'm giving it to Pittsburgh.
Well, I think that's a healthy choice there. I think I'm in agreement. I'll have to see about my colleagues here at the radio station, but I think without question, Tomlin he brings a level of intensity. But hey, Carl, again, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We definitely always appreciate you on the show and your insights into the CBA, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that gets resolved fairly quickly. And we're looking forward to having you come back on as we get a little closer to your camp.
Thank you so much, John. Man, thank you guys for having me, and I really appreciate it, and hope to speak with you soon.
All right, thanks so much, Carl.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, that's Carl Francis.